Okay, hi everybody. So we are live today with Philip Konechko, who is a career coach with great amount of documented success to clients to succeed in their transition and training them for a new job. He is from Dallas, Texas, from the Jewish Family Center, and he's gonna talk with us today about effective networking. Is it only for just for job searching, or is it something that we need to keep up and do even more for different purposes? So, Philip, welcome.
Thank you, Arit. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and share some of the knowledge and the information I've been able to gather through these many years of doing this. And if it's available to help some folks, I'm happy to share that with you. Okay. As you mentioned, the term networking conjures up some images about things we have to do for the job search, and people a really great way to search for jobs. But in reality, networking is so much more than that. As a matter of fact, as a career coach, what I tell my clients is that networking typically has absolutely nothing to do with job searching. That may sound a bit oxymoronic, but in reality, it's true. And the reason I say that is because when people are on a job search, they'll do things like learn how to write a resume and learn how to interview. But in reality, we don't have to learn how to network because, frankly, we network our whole lives. Networking is all about simply meeting people and asking the question, how can I help? Networking isn't really about finding the job search. Networking is about listening and learning. I want to learn more about what people are doing. I want to learn more about what people are going through for themselves. And I want to learn how I can either help or maybe I can refer somebody else that might be able to help a person. I want to learn what people are doing. I want to learn, is there something that I can help them out with and I would be a part of? So when we network, we want to make sure that when we connect out to folks, we also give people a reason to want to network with us. Okay. Uh, it's not really that big of a stretch in the imagination to understand people love to talk about themselves, and we're rightly so. We have a lot we want to share. So when we reach out to folks and we ask if there's a way we can connect, whether it's on LinkedIn or Facebook or some of the other social media sites or even one-on-one, we want to make sure that they know we're interested in them. Okay? I want to give the person I'm connecting with the opportunity to share more about themselves. If I have 15 minutes of time with somebody, I want to think about talking for maybe a minute and think about listening for those other 14 minutes. But eventually, I have to talk a little bit about myself. Eventually, I have to share something about myself, and I'll be able to do that. Unfortunately, we're pretty used to people saying, I don't have time to network, or I'm not the right person to network with you. And so, a lot of times when we reach out to network, we hear no a lot for some reason. The challenge becomes when somebody says, yes, I'm happy to talk to you and I'm happy to work with you. How can I help you? So I think before we start considering networking itself, I think we have to know a couple of things before we get started. And that is, number one, you got to know us. You know, what is it that we know about ourselves? What is it that we could possibly offer? What is it that we believe in? What do we want people to know or think about when they hear our name? What kind of image do we want them to have in their mind so we can then connect with them and they have that reason to learn more about us from the networking we're doing? We want to make sure that we know what we can offer. We have to know what we do very, very well. We have to know what we do very, very poorly too. I've had two careers that I've retired from. I've been a space communication systems manager. I've been electrical engineering program chair for a college up in Chicago. And so if somebody asks me about finding satellites in the sky, I can do that. I can help you out. If you want to ask about electrical engineering information, I can help you out as well. If you want to ask me about women's soccer, I have no idea. But maybe I can introduce you to somebody that does. So that ability to network starts with us knowing what we can and cannot do, taking stock of ourselves and learning about what we are able to share with other folks. Okay? So again, being the solution means we have the answer, or maybe we refer to somebody else. So that's number one, we got to know ourselves. Number two, as much as possible, we've got to know who we're talking to. We want to find out a little bit more about that person. We want to think a little bit more about what that person is doing. What do we know about their job? What do we know about what we see on their post? We want to be able to listen to that person as well. And remember, the key part about networking is we are there to learn. We're there to learn what we can about that person, learn about their organization. At the heart of it, at the end of the day, whether it's two guys talking, two women talking, whether I'm talking to somebody from Boston or San Francisco or from Germany or wherever, people are going to have something in common with themselves. We are going to do the things we want to do, or we're going to do the things we have to do. That's really what we're end up doing. And so in networking, I want to hear what people are thinking about. I want to hear what they're talking about. How can they share what they're doing? And as I said, I want to make sure I let people know that when I'm networking with them, I'm not doing it just so I can eventually get to the point of asking for a job. I need to make sure that when I have a conversation with somebody, that what I'm saying, what I'm feeling are the same thing. I don't want to get into a situation where it says, yes, I believe what you're saying. But people pick up on those messages very, very easily. Have a reason and an interest in the person you're talking to. Have that reason that you want to learn more about them. Have that opportunity to share more with that individual so that they can learn a little bit more about you. Okay? As you're going through this and as you're talking about networking, again, make sure that you're doing this and listening, not so that you can then jump in as soon as you possibly can to get your point across. Another thing we want to consider about networking is that if we're there to learn, we don't learn a lot when we're talking. We learn a lot more when we're listening to folks as well. If I'm going to network and I'm going to dominate the conversation, I'm going to talk about myself again and again and again. Well, what is it that I've learned? What have I actually gained from it? I want to be able, when I network with people, to hear what they're thinking, to know what they are looking for. And as I said earlier, how can I possibly either be a solution or offer a solution? And the solution may just be listening to them and offering that ear for them. So that's what I wanted to take a few minutes today and share with you and your group about networking, is that it's not for the purpose of going out and getting a job. Because if it was, then once you got the job, you wouldn't network anymore. But in reality, we network every day of our lives. So try not to make it into anything that's more than what it is. All it is talking to people, and all it is learning and listening, and having that interest in what they're saying will do a lot for you as you learn your networking.
Philip, thank you. So I have already a question that popped up.
Okay.
In our days, with all the COVID and everything, that most of the really networking, let's say, is happening in the virtual world. Is there a difference? I mean, because most of the things that you say, they are more applicable for in person, or it's also for, what are the difference basically, from meeting in person people or meeting with them like in Zoom or like we are doing?
So what has changed since my day, back when my hair wasn't this color and I was a little bit younger, is the technology. The medium for communication has changed. What we have now is so much more than what we had back in my day. So we have social media, we are connecting. So I think the way we make the connection is a little different now. But once that connection is made, the content is going to be the same as it always was because technology changes. We've gone from telephones to phone to beepers to social media. But what hasn't changed is the person we're talking to. Technology is not going to change that person. It's not going to change what that person wants. And with regard to social media like Facebook or LinkedIn, I use them, but I typically use them as the way to make the introduction. After the introduction, I want to get to that phone call or maybe that cup of coffee at Starbucks, whatever it is. I love those social media points for introduction because it makes my introduction a lot more efficient than if I'm trying to do an individual at a time. So technology changes the way in which we connect, but I want to make sure we emphasize what we say and what we're learning is always going to be the same because
So
people are the same.
So let's say that you have somebody that you really, you think that can help you to promote your career in the future. So you would start first like writing him in in the LinkedIn Messenger or Facebook, and try to promote a meeting. I mean, how you will, for example, how will you start a connection with him?
So if I want to start a connection with somebody, I have to remember, how is that person going to view my request? Why do they want to connect with me? I have to give somebody a reason to want to connect with me. So what I typically will do is I will take a look at, has this person received an award lately? Does this person work at a particular company? If I know somebody works at a company, let's say like MD Anderson, and I'm saying, hey, I'm kind of curious. I read about MD Anderson. They're doing this particular research. I would like to learn a little bit about it. Would you be able to help me? Or, and here's the nice thing that gets people past that initial no, would you be able to help me, or would you be able to recommend somebody to help me? I have to give people, and this is going to sound really weird, I have to give people a reason to say no as well. Because if I don't give them that reason, people may not even respond to me. People generally don't want to deliver bad news. They may not want to tell me I can't help you. But if I give them a way to say, could you help me, or could you recommend somebody, that could start that
You are giving him
conversation.
a way out.
Exactly. Okay. The other thing I want to make sure I do is something I learned when I was a very small child. My mother told me, don't shove the entire potato in your mouth, cut it up in little pieces. And I don't want to have the message be too big of a message. I want to make a small introduction. I never want to do more than 2 or 3 sentences on my introduction. I want to give them a reason to learn more. Okay. And so find a point that you can point to and say, I want to congratulate you on this, or I want to learn more about this. And again, being genuine with it. And then the goal is to continue the communication, not necessarily to get the answer.
This is interesting. Did not thought about this by myself. Philip, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And Philip is going to be available also to answer later on also a question on under this post. And we will have another sessions in the future also.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much for having the time for this. Bye.